Gen Z has given up on having children, which I honestly cannot blame them. I had a daughter back in November of last year, and with insurance, it still cost over $10,000. You have to love that. So I don't blame Gen Z for not having kids, especially because you only get a certain amount of time off work, and then you got to go back to work, and then you got to send your kid to daycare, which is very expensive, sometimes $500 a week or more. And you're telling me that's $2,000 a month if it's $500 a week. A lot of people barely make $2,000 a month. If they make $4,000, that's half of their paycheck gone to freaking childcare. So it's very expensive these days to have kids. So I understand, honestly, why Gen Z's not having kids.
Why aren't people having kids anymore? Because no one has a spare $300,000. It's the same reason I haven't bought a sapphire mine recently. It's just a tad too expensive. I don't want to spend money on a kid. I freeze my bread to make it last longer. I'm cheap. Look. It's not even a joke, it's just a good tip. I don't even spend the fake money I earn in video games. Here's a better question. Why did the people who had kids before choose to make it feel impossible to have kids now, and how can they help fix that? The closest I'm gonna get to having kids is rewatching the first season of Stranger Things. But who's gonna take care of you when you're old? I don't know, probably an AI android with a voice just different enough from Scarlett Johansson's for it to be legal.
And unfortunately...
Yeah, I mean, the birth rates are declining big time. It's also the inflation. Inflation from, let's say, the 1960s to today. It's getting really bad. You got to think, you know, from when our parents, at least my mom, I think, was born in 62. When my mom was born in 62, life was good. This was right before the 70s when you was a hippie. And like the buying power of $1 was a lot, right? Here we go. $1 in 1960 adjusted for inflation. Okay, so $1. Nice. $1.02, $1.03. So that same dollar, now it's about, it's $11 to $1, right? For example, if you started with $1, you would need to end with $11 in order to adjust for inflation, sometimes referred to as beating inflation, when $1 is equivalent. So $1 buying power versus today. That same dollar, you got about 9 cents of buying power with that same dollar. The inflation rate is what's murdering our generation. And then boomers are like, well, what do you mean you can't buy a house? And I'm not saying this is all boomers. I'm not saying, I know Tim Dillon be cooking boomers. I'm not saying this is all boomers, but a lot of these boomers out there are like, well, why can't you guys buy a home? What do you mean you can't afford a house? Dude, duh, I can't afford a house. I live in a crappy house and it was $200,000. My mortgage is $1,800 a month. Back in the day for a $200,000 house, boy, you ain't gonna be paying more than $700 a month. Now you want a $500,000 a house, $500,000 house. You're talking $3-4 grand, $5 a month. Who can afford that? Where are these people with money at?
Gen Z and millennials don't want kids. So the birth rate, the fertility rate in the U.S. has been going down for years. It's now at a historic low. And what's really interesting when you get into the Pew Research underneath it is the reason people are not having kids has changed. So put up this graphic here, and I'll talk you through it. People over the age of 50 who have not had children, they say, look, it just didn't happen. Basically, I wanted to, but it was bad luck. Young people today say, I'm not even out here trying. I, period, full stop, don't want children.
Yeah.
That
is a big shift.
That is a big change. There's a bunch of reasons. A portion of them cite the cost.
The cost of childcare is bananas.
It's bananas.
School is just, it's
crazy.
Unreal.
A portion of them cite worries about the state of the world, climate change, and then 20% say, I just don't like kids.
And these are all fair reasons. I don't know about not liking kids.
The state of the world and climate change, meaning they don't want to add to our population because of the pressures.
Or they're just
worried. See, that to me is just FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Whatever on that. That to me, that's dumb. But I think what the big problem is in chat, put a one in the chat if you agree. I think the big problem is that, at least with the millennial generation, we were taught to be so selfish. We were taught to be so narcissistic and self-centered and think it's only about your own happiness. Like, I got a buddy who he's like, I never want kids. And I'm like, God, just, like, what's the point of life? Just to work a job and die? Like, you don't want a family ever? I got another buddy who wants a family, but he's got commitment issues, and I got another buddy who's trying. These are like my really close friends. But to me, it's just like, this was the next chapter. Cass and I, we had always talked about having a little mini-me, but we just hadn't really got there yet until last year when we had our daughter. And then it finally got to a point where I was like, you know what? I want a kid. I want a family. Like, I want that. I want that. And we finally did it. And it's amazing. It's hard. It's difficult, especially with a newborn. It's not easy, bro. But I feel like our generation, especially millennials, we're just so self-centered and so like, well, I just what I want to do. If I have a kid, I can't do what I want to do. Like, God forbid, you got to be selfless for a little bit.
We spent $53,400 on daycare tuition last year.
My God, 54 grand on daycare? It's more than I spent on my house.
I'm Jen. I'm a mom of two, and I also have a full-time corporate job. And my family uses daycare as a source of full-time childcare. And I try to be transparent on here in terms of how much it costs to be a dual-income family, especially from a childcare perspective. We just ended
At this point, I don't know what she does for a living, but at this point, you should just quit your job and raise your kids.
25, and I made the mistake of going into my parent portal and looking at our tuition summary for the year. We spent a total of $53,432 on daycare tuition. Jeez. And I have two kids. I have a 4-year-old daughter that's in the pre-K program and a 2-year-old son that's in the TWOS program. And we actually get a discount for having 2 kids enrolled in the daycare center. So our total is actually closer to $55,900.
Yeah, what a big discount, a couple grand. That really did you a good one there, huh?
But we saved about $2,600 with that sibling discount. And I posted a couple weeks ago about how we already got the daycare tuition increase email for 2026, and our tuition is increasing about 5%.
My God.
So that would put our total closer to $59,000 for 2026.
You think you got to raise by 3%? And this is also the problem. Everybody's raising prices, and ain't nobody getting paid no more.
Luckily, our daughter is going to public school kindergarten in the fall, so there is a little bit of reprieve on the horizon. But the next time someone asks me if I'm going to have a third kid, I'm just going to start showing them these daycare bills.
That's what I'm saying. And the thing is, I think people want to have bigger families. I really do. Would I love to have 2-3 kids? Yeah, it'd be awesome. Having a little family running around. It's expensive, dude.
I think younger people are having less kids.
My parents had kids by the time they were my age, but like we would not be able to afford to have a child now.
Most people our age can barely afford to live for themselves.
I can't pay my rent.
I guess people are busy, lead busy lives, have careers.
Cost of living crisis for sure. And
I think there's also something else to this. So many people say the cost of living, the cost of this, the cost of that. I've watched a lot of Caleb Hammer recently. A lot of people have really bad spending habits. Bro, when I was in college back in my day, I would eat a can of beans and be good. You know, you got to do what you got to do. Some of them struggle meals. Put some of your struggle meals in the comments. Let me see what you guys used to eat. I've had struggle meals, bro. Eating beanie weenies, eating Vienna sausages, ramen noodles for days on end. Sodium levels just freaking off the charts, bro. No, zero nutritional value, but been there, done that. A lot of people don't want to sacrifice these things, though. Like this dude's over here complaining about cost of living. He's got a nice backpack on. He's got his hair done. He's got a nice hat on. It's like, if you sacrificed a little bit of the nice things that you want, you could probably save some money.
I'm still getting my life in order, so...
A lot of people don't want to bring kids into this world with like the current climate, like environments, like things going on politically. Like people don't want to bring children into the world for them to grow up like that.
Having a child is a good thing. It makes you more of a man.
Wanting freedom. People feel like children are a burden.
Even though it is a financial burden, the love that it gives our family outweighs anything.
Yeah, preach, brother. Preach to that guy.
Knowing what it costs and the hours people have to work to keep a family is staggering.
I wouldn't suggest not having a baby due to finances, just make it work.
When I was younger, I learned so much about overpopulation, and I was really worried about that and thinking like, oh, maybe I'll do my part and not have kids.
Having children is not as easy as it used to be. You can't just take 3, 4, 5 years out.
We could go right over to the comments.
Yeah, just make it work. I mean, at some point you gotta be like, either you want it or you don't, dude. If you want kids, it's hard. And it's like, I saw something, I wonder if I saved it. I saw something about this guy talking about like, oh, maybe it was on here, it was on TikTok. I think I saved it on TikTok. Let's see if I can't find it really quick. It's just a quote that I was like, wow, this is actually, this dude is cooking with something. Okay, you'll never feel ready because ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You'll never feel ready because ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You just gotta eventually do it, bro. Like Cass and I, we weren't ready for a child, but we had one.
In today's society, kids are luxury.
We're renting, we budget, and thinking about what it costs, at least in Australia, to have a child, especially in Sydney.
Bro, Australia is so expensive, bro.
And wanting to have the best for it.
it wasn't a really hard decision in the end to say, you know what, I actually don't want that.
If there wasn't the worry of money, we would have definitely explored the option of having more children.
My whole thing is, everybody been worried about money. I mean, we are seeing some inflation, but everybody's worried about money. Even back in the day is worried about money.
But because, you know, we have used our savings, there's the expense of daycare, our kids being at school, all the other expenses that comes along with that, we just now don't have that option.
Australia is experiencing what some are calling a baby recession. KPMG analysis shows the estimated number of births in 2023 was the lowest since 2006. That's against the backdrop of a long-term decline in Australia's total fertility rate, which has been falling since the 70s, and more recently dropped from over 2 children per woman in 2008 to just 1.6 children.
And if I wanted to, I could...
I mean, that's crazy. That's wild. I mean, it sucks too, dude, because, like, for me, I love having, like, a little one running around. I mean, she ain't running around. She's crawling around at this point, but it's so fulfilling to me.
I love this Wall Street Journal article. It's called What Happens When a Whole Generation Never Grows Up, and it basically talks about how late millennials are kind of in this state of arrested development, and it talks about why that is, the economic factors driving it, but also what it means for our collective society when a group of people never reach those traditional markers of adulthood. A third of today's young adults will never marry. Wow. The average age of a homeowner has gone up, which means younger people, like in their 30s, are not buying homes or buying their first home. And according to a survey by the Pew Research Center, the share of childless adults under 50 has risen from 37% to 47%. Jeez. And part of this could just be people not choosing a traditional path. But when the scale is this big, it does kind of raise these questions about, are these goals just out of reach for a lot of these people? And if you ask a lot of these people, if you talk to economists, a lot of them give the explanation that they can't afford to grow up. You know, rising inflation, ballooning housing costs, it's very expensive to have a kid. And that's what's kind of preventing them from reaching these milestones that a lot of them want.
The money doesn't go as far as it...
I mean, 6 figures is the new minimum wage, in my opinion. Here's what I did, chat. So I was living in Austin, Texas for a little bit. I got a pretty good job, like working remote once the pandemic hit. Then I moved to Dallas, and I got hired at another company. I got like a $30K bump in salary. That company, we parted ways, and then I got hired in another company, and I went from 90K base salary to 130K base salary. So I bumped another job, got a really nice bump in pay. And then we moved out to a small area in West Texas where Cass and I bought a home that was way cheaper than what's typically being sold all over the country. Like, you're not going to find a lot of brand new homes that are $200,000. You're just not going to find that, especially that's a 3-2, 1,200 square feet, which is what we live in. So what I did is I said, why don't we sacrifice a little bit of like living in the city? We're going to have to sacrifice our lifestyle. But if we sacrifice now and suffer now, we can live and reap the rewards later. But as opposed to like suffering later and having fun now, not what I wanted to do. And I got buddies that live in the city still, and they want to have fun and they want to go out. Well, I want to be next to restaurants. I want to be next to bars. They have barely any money saved. They're going to have to work until they're 80. They're not going to have any equity in a home. Like, now I own a home. I can rent it out. I can Airbnb it, or I can sell it. Or I can pull out a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. There's a lot of things I can do with this home. I can upgrade it some. Try to make a little bit of profit on it. It's already gone up in value because I bought it 3 years ago. But when you don't sacrifice now, you're going to have to sacrifice later, which is what I tell a lot of people. So what I did is I took this super cush, nice city salary job and moved into a smaller area that my money goes a lot farther, and then lived well below my means. I stopped going out to eat. I stopped buying nice clothes. I stopped going to the bar. I stopped going to play pickleball all the time and going out with my buddies and eating sushi 3 times a week. I stopped doing all that. I sacrificed a lot. Cass started cooking way more. We started saving our money. And now we save, I'd probably save, I'd say 40 to 50% of my maybe 50 to 60% of my income every single month. I have a financial planner. I send him the majority of my check every single month that I get, and he invests it. Since I've been able to do that, I'm years ahead of where it would have taken me till I was 50 to save up the amount of money that I have now. But if you don't choose to make that conscious decision to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to live below my means. I'm going to save most of my money. Because, dude, think about it this way. If you could live on just 20% of your income and save 80%, you would get years ahead. But you got to sacrifice some time. And you got to sacrifice some of the nice things that you have. Stop going out to eat. Stop going hanging out with your friends. Stop going on vacations. You know, I could afford to go on a vacation every single month. I could go on a nice vacation every single month, spend thousands, spend $4 or $5 grand on a vacation every single month if I wanted to. Do I? No, I don't.
How about no?
I don't go on nice vacations, dude. The last nice vacation I went on was with Cass right before she got pregnant, was to New Orleans. You know where I've went since then? I've went to my hometown, Paris, Texas. Saw my family. Maybe driven to Dallas. That's it. I haven't been on a plane in almost 2 years. I could afford that. I can afford every new pair of Nikes. Do I buy them? No. I could afford very nice clothes. I could have a Louis Vuitton suit. I get my clothes on Shein. This shirt was on Shein. It was like $9. Just saying, chat. You guys have seen my office since I started. You know what's the only thing that's been updated? Is the TV, that bed, and this mic. I could have redone the walls and the camera. I could have redone the walls completely. I could have tore it all down and, you know, done everything. I've added that little lamp as well. But if you really are mindful about what you actually need to spend money on, you can save a ton of money. It's just a lot of people don't want to.
Be the College of New Rochelle, which survived the Spanish flu, 2 world wars, and the Great Depression. But it couldn't survive budget problems, tax bills, and steep drops in enrollment. And experts say nearly 400 colleges could suffer a similar fate in the next 10 years. The reason is simple. There aren't enough students to fill classrooms. That's because people stopped having as many babies around the start of the financial crisis. 18 years later, that falling birth rate is showing up as empty desks. For colleges who rely on tuition to keep the lights on, missing even a handful of students can mean the difference between life or death. Already, more than 40 schools have shut down since 2020. Many of them cite falling enrollment as what led them to shut their doors. And it's only going to get harder to keep classrooms full, as the birth rate will likely continue to fall.
I don't know. That makes...
Wow. I mean, colleges, some colleges already, I think, are BS anyways. You want to get a liberal farts degree, there's really no point.
Literally can't make this stuff up. My newsfeed right here, it says U.S. birth rate hits new low, CDC data shows. And more top stories right below it, it says investors bought 1 out of every 4 affordable homes last year. It's like we pretend that this data is surprising and that the answer isn't right in front of our face. The real reason why nobody my age and nobody younger than me is going to have kids. When the new house...
Oh my God, a 3-3 for $1.3 million? Bro, you could get a mansion in Texas for that.
Houses that are being built are about in this price range right here.
1,800 square feet?
And a large portion of the affordable ones are bought up by investors. At the same time that the dollar's been losing its value like crazy, this guy right here breaks it down pretty well. It might not be 100% accurate, but it gives you a good idea. It says right now the average rent is $2,000 when the average income is $50,000. Whereas in 1990, the average rent was $500 and the average income was $30,000. He says the rent has gone up 4 times and the income hasn't doubled. And he says that maybe millennials aren't broke because of avocado toast. And I hate to say it, but I'm sorry. It doesn't look like things are going to get any better. And it only seems like less and less young people will have kids. Huge news article around here advertising they built 46 affordable housing units over the summer. That's in a city in a region of hundreds of thousands of people.
I'm Gen Z and a lot of us...
Wow, that's crazy. I'm Gen Z and a lot of us have come to the conclusion we will never own a home. The houses are made of cardboard and cheap wood. I've completely accepted the new reality. I will never own a home. I won't mother children and I will not marry. Now I live for me and plan to travel. It's freeing. You know what's really crazy, Chad, is I agree with that. The houses are very cheap. They're made of cardboard, plywood, and spit and bubble gum. So I bought a brand new house. My floors are already coming up. 2 years been here. Floors are coming up. You walk by. Now, I do pace my house a lot and, you know, stuff like that, but the floors are coming up. Been in here 3 years. House is 3 years old. It's insane. And then we wonder, you know, why young men, they want families and stuff like that, but they can't. They can't afford to. It's truly sad. It's truly sad, but this is the world we live in now, unfortunately. That, you know, men have stayed pretty traditional. They've stayed very traditional, but they can't afford to have a family. It's wild, bro. There was something about that clip that reminded me about something. Where was it at? Something he said. Oh, let me show you guys. Let me just show you guys something. Let's go to Zillow. Let's go to where's a good area to look at? Yeah, let's go Bernie, Texas. Bernie, Texas is like north of San Antonio. Let's see here. Is this a real one? Or maybe no. Here. Oh, wait a minute. What about is this a real one? Some of these are fake, so you got to be careful. Like some of these are like designer. Let's do McKinney. Let's do McKinney, Texas. McKinney, Texas is a good one. Or let's do Prosper. Prosper, Texas is a really good one. Here we go. Let's just look at some of these cribs. So you got 1.175. Let's see if we can't find one that's actually not fake and not a model home. Here we go. Yeah, let's try this one. Okay. This is in Prosper, Texas, a 4-bed, 5-bath, 1.175. So $1 million, as much as that other one. That other one was a 3.3, 1,800 square feet. This is on a 10,000 square foot lot. And this isn't even one of the nice ones, chat. This is like pretty mid, especially for Texas. This is like, you could get something way nicer for $1 million. A movie room. This is your typical modern farmhouse. Gym. That's what you can get for $1 million in Texas. That's what you can get. You can get some pretty dank stuff in Texas for $1 million. But then let's go to California. Let's just go to Los Angeles. Los Angeles, California. Let's go to LA for $1 million. This is what you can get for $1 million in LA. That's it right there, man. 4-bed, 3-bath, 1,600 square feet. That's it. That's what you get. Little bitty crib. This is very nice. So you can tell it's updated, but it's a little house. It's not big at all. And then the property taxes are crazy. What are you paying? Like 50% property tax, which is insane to me. Like you can barely find anything for $1 million, which is crazy. Here in Texas, you can get a McMansion for $1 million. Let's go to San Antonio. I'm just getting on a tangent here of looking up homes. Look at this crib. Just look at this. This is 1.2. Look at that. It's insane. Wrap around in the hills. It's crazy. Look at that. For 1.2. What is this? A 4.5, 3,600 square feet. It's double the size of that other one. 3-car garage. There's your living space. Like, this is insane. For essentially the same price. You got an island. You know you got some money when you got an island in your freaking closet, dude. Look at that. 1.2. Pretty much the same price. That's why I see it. There's a bunch of people moving to Texas, man. I think number one, I think I asked ChatGPT the other day. I was like, what's the, top 5 states that people are moving to? And I think the top one was Texas, which is wild to me. People are moving to Texas in droves. It's a great state. It's a great state, man. It's so cheap. It's so cheap compared to other states when it comes to living, the standard of living, the cost of living, all of it, dude. All of it. All right, let's switch gears here. Let's go to the Twitter. Let's see here. I've got some clips, yeah. What do we got? All right, here, let's get some modern dating stuff. Here, what do we got? What is this one talking about?
So I told a man today that I was looking for a relationship and really serious about it.
Bro, this lip filler killing y'all. You can barely even see your top teeth.
Really wanted a family, all the things. And then he said I come off desperate. So I'll be overthinking that for the next 3 to 5 business days.
Try 3 to 5 years. You cook women like that, bro, they can't handle it. They cannot handle it. What is this? POV, you finally open up to her?
You know you can open up. It's just that I'm a man.
Never do it, never do it, never do it.
And, you know, we're supposed to hold these things in. Look, I'm not going to see you any differently. I'm here for you.
Women weaponize your vulnerabilities. You gotta watch what you say, bruh.
Do you really mean that? Yes, I'm really here for you. All right. Well, it all started when my pet tortoise, I thought he could swim.
Wow, this guy really is gay. He's such a little bitch.
That's the facts, though, bro. They will say one thing and mean another, brother. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Here's a clip from Clavicular. This just screams hoflation to me.
All right. Could I
Have
ask
sex
you?
with you. We just met like 2 seconds ago.
Well, I'm saying that in 7 minutes, I really won't be able to significantly move the needle enough to change the answer. So what the fuck do I need 7 minutes for? I might as well just hit you with the question.
You have to take me out on like a real date first.
Oh, goddamn. Nah. I have to take you on a real date. You're a porn star. All right.
But this is like a broader meaning here. I have to take you out on a real date. You get bucked on camera, dude. You're a corn star. You get bucked for a living. You get paid to get bucked. Nobody's going to take you serious. Like, when will these women realize that the fact that you're a corn star means that you're undateable? Nobody wants you, bruh. Nobody wants you. Nobody's ever going to want you that's actually looking to take a woman serious. It's quick money, but OF, in my opinion, put a 1 in the chat if you agree, it's completely ruined the younger generation of women, the Gen Z women, the women 18 to 24. Did you know that 10% of all women aged 18 to 24 are on OF? 10%. That's like saying back in the day, 10% of your grandmas were selling their freaking chocolate starfishes online. That's an insane stat. That's an insane stat. 10%? 1 out of every 10 is selling coochie, selling labias, selling tuna tunnel, gut lockers, scrambled eggs between the legs, vertical smiles, pink tacos, bearded axe wounds. They're selling that? It's crazy work. Really is. Unemployed at 22 years old in a 2026 economy.
Worst time to be unemployed too, like, girl. And now I'm just thinking about the money that I lost, the income that I lost. I'm broke as fuck. Rent too.
I mean, I feel bad for these kids.
I'm like losing my mind now. 2 days I've been like chill, like whatever, like it is what it is. And now it's like,
I mean, it's tough, you know. The problem is there's so many young people that just want the easy jobs. They don't want hard jobs. There's a lot of people looking for plumbers, a lot of people looking for electricians. So, you know, there's a new trend going around. Women have started a strange trend of throwing sperm showers where they invite their friends over to help choose between sperm donors, which oftentimes end up in single motherhood. This is not real. This is a sperm shower. Welcome to my sperm shower. Boy Nacho Daddy Bar. These women would rather become cream pies. Wow. I mean, some of that food does look pretty good. Oh my nut cake. It's a bit nutty. I had friends over to help me narrow my choices, put on a show with a PowerPoint, made voting cards and draft style elimination. So extra. What's crazy to me is these women will do all of this, but won't even try to get a boyfriend. Have a jizzy frizzy. Oh my God, with some creamer in your soda. Good Lord, bro. This generation is so lost. Everybody voted and pretty much chose the same donor. ChatGPT is lying. Donor draft. This is insane. Loki, is this insane or what? Here, instead of a potato, we'll do a little tooth. Little Timmy the tooth. Loki, free. Sit. Free. Go to your place. Good Lord. Throwing sperm showers. This is crazy. All right. Women have more privilege than men.
Is that women are far more privileged than men.
Your claim was that women are far more privileged than men.
Yes, that is the correct claim.
Yeah, privilege as in we don't really have any duties to our country. And then also if we talk about things like no-fault divorce, we typically win in court by a lot. And also we live in a country where women typically influence a lot of the political and cultural decisions.
See your points. I think they make sense. But what about how women have way more issues with safety and the gender
How about no?
Pay gap?
So the gender pay gap has been debunked like so many times. Like it's not even a thing anymore. It's been debunked so many times. That they basically took like a survey of like all the jobs women worked and men worked, and they compared the average income. But what they found was that women were just working lower paying jobs. Like they were teachers and they're comparing that to a male surgeon. So that's been debunked so many times. That's not a thing. But if we go back to like the actual privilege part, the safety, yes, there's bad people everywhere. And that just goes back to our biological differences. That
Bro, the girl on the left looked like she got her clothes out of a garbage can.
men are stronger than women, and so obviously some men are going to take that power to their advantage. It's very unfortunate. We kind of live in like a very dark and evil society.
I don't think society's dark and evil, bro. I really don't. Violent crime towards men versus women. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, males experience higher victimization rates than females for all types of violent crime except rape and other sexual assault. Just shut up at this point. Just shut up. This is why I stand up for men, dude. Men are so disenfranchised and get shot down all the time. That's why I'm here to stand up for you guys. Ain't that right, Lux?
Won't they do?
But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.